Hello beauties, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, also known as Live Life's Beauty, and I'm so glad that you have found me. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for joining me again on another video. You know you are always so appreciated. Today's video, we're going to rewind time and we're going to take it back to February, when I started to make a dress that I initially wanted to wear for my birthday. So I didn't make an introduction, I just got straight into it as it was very early in the morning and I just wanted to get things going. I'm going to bring you back there and then we're going to meet back here.
Good morning, everybody. It is currently 5:30 in the morning, so I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. I am going to start on one of my birthday dresses. So this one is just going to be a long bodycon. The only thing I have since decided is that I want it to be a one shoulder bodycon. But when I done the pattern for it, I patterned it as a bodycon dress with a high back. So I'm going to try and alter this pattern. I don't know anything about patterns, guys. I don't know anything about altering. I don't have the time or the quietness to go into my room and try to fix it because my son is asleep, and if I go rummaging through my drawers, that will immediately spring him into action. Not saying that he couldn't spring into action at any given moment. So I've laid my fabric out on the floor. I'm going to get started on cutting it out. If we mess up, then it will just be literally just a boob tube bodycon dress. So that's worst case scenario. So I'm going to stop talking now, because the more I talk, the more that I alert people, and at any given moment any of my kids could wake up because they have very early risers. So I just want to get this cut out before anybody wakes up and disturbs my peace. Honestly, guys, I always struggle with the folding of fabric. Like, I'm not going to add seam allowance onto this pattern because it is a bodycon and I do want it to be tight, and I'm going to try and use as much loose of the fabric as possible. So because I want it to be on the cut, I'm going to put the pattern towards the very end, and then I'm just going to shift it over. And this always takes me super long because I can never just fold the fabric right and get it the width that I need it. I'm always like finagling. I'm going to keep the dress as long as I can. So I'm going to, I don't want to put the pattern right up to the top either in case I need that extra. So I don't have cutting weights, which is my next purchase. So I'm going to use some materials that I have. And one thing I've noticed that I've really struggled with is cutting out patterns. I'm not sure how great the cutting process has to be, but because I have a lot of stretchy fabrics, it's really difficult to cut them because they just get so wonky. I did buy a rotary cutter and a cutting mat, but it is entirely too small. It's a 3 size, and for some reason I thought A3 was like big, but it's really small. So I am going to invest in an A1 mat. I feel like this is curved, and I'm just going to go with the curve. We can just change it once it's on our body, and I think I definitely want to make the neckline a little bit more square, but for now I'm going to keep it to I've cut it because I can always just lower it once it's on me and fitted, rather than trying to finagle it. I did go with a V-neck, and I was worried that this was going to be too small, but I actually think it's just right. once it's on the side of me, and once they're both sewed up with that little bit of stretch, I feel like it will give me the body yaddy that I don't have. Okay, so this is the back. It looks quite big. So I'm going to pin the side seams together of this dress, and because of how uneven I've cut it, I'm going to pin it up from just under the armholes. So this is the dress close up, and I'm going to show you on the arms how I think I've done an absolutely fantastic job, because it's not like pulling or anything. I'm not going to lift up my arms because I am in need of some help for the summer. You can see it is really long. I'm trying to get myself all in as best as I can. It is very tight, so you can see all the lumps and bumps, but I'm not worried about that because, you know, we're ladies, we fluctuate, and that is all to be expected. But my hips, I do feel like it's very dippy. It is very like fitted. Does that make sense? It's very thick. I think with the right undergarments, it'll be all right. I do have this top that I do wear literally under everything. It is like a cami, and it's got like a built-in, not a built-in bra, but like a, you know, padded kind of bra, and then like some kind of shapewear, but it's not like, what's it called, compression or anything like that. It's just to keep you warm. So yeah, I'm not loving that. I think had I not made it so tight, maybe it wouldn't show up so much. But, you know, bodycon dress is a bodycon dress, so you kind of see everything. I think definitely need to wear the proper garments, the proper underneath garment when I wear this kind of dress, because yeah, it's not looking great. How it is currently, I can walk with no problem, so I don't think I need a slit or anything, and I don't think I want a slit in it. So I'm literally just going to turn up the hem, machine stitch it. We just need to figure out the neckline. So for me currently, this is a bit too high of a neckline. I do want it to be a little bit lower, but I'm thinking about doing what I did to the arms, which was just folding it under, and then I think by folding it under, it will get a little bit deeper anyway. So I'm not sure whether I want to cut it that little bit deeper or leave it. And I was thinking, like, do I want a square neck? Yeah, I think I am just going to cut it just a little bit deeper and then fold it into the V. I know that there's, like, I could use this to make a bias binding, but I'm not really that advanced yet.
things are going great, I'm reminded of how ungreat that they are. So we can see the front is very squiggly and wiggly. The back is okay, but it's not as good as the armholes. Like, they're not squiggly and wiggly. But obviously, when it gets to the main part, it's like, girl, you really thought. So I am unpicking this because it just looks very crazy. And I'm thinking, should I just use a straight stitch? With how big it is, I don't think it needs to stretch over my head. So I was just freehand folding it over, and I was doing it via the back, so I couldn't really see the front. So maybe this time I'm going to pin it so I know that it's all straight and I need to stay on that line, and then sew it on the front so I can see the line and I can see if I start to veer off. So because it's a zigzag stitch, we have to kind of pop every zigzag. So I'm going to do that, which is going to take me a little bit of time, and then we'll figure out how we want to do the neckline. So here we are, guys, in my finished garment. I am absolutely in love with this. Like, I don't know, just the fact that I've actually completed my first me-made garment. Like, it's for me. I feel like I could definitely wear this out in summer, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not going to bust out on me anywhere. Obviously, it's not perfect, as I'm going to show you as I talk through the construction of it. But with the neckline, as you can see, I did have some trouble when I was on a zigzag stitch, so I did just straight stitch it, and I did end up double stitching it. Hopefully I've filmed enough close-ups of the dress to insert it while I'm talking, but I ended up doing 2 rows of stitching, and I love that I ended up doing that around the neckline because it is lying really flat. And obviously with the bottom bit here, I didn't quite catch it the first time, so that's initially what made me have to go and do that second round, but absolutely love it. Ideally I could have gone a little bit lower, just so you know it's more like narrowed in a little bit, but it's absolutely fine. It is very, it's like, it is a bodycon dress, so obviously it does show up all the lumps and bumps, but what I will say is I'm very glad with the fit because it's not gaping anywhere. Partly I think that's partly due to the material that I chose, because it just sucks onto you basically, and how tight I made it. There's no gaping at the back, there's no gaping at the front. With the bottom of the hem, I think I am gonna go and do another round of top stitching like I did with the top, just because it is a little bit bulky. It's just like a little bit too much air in the bottom row for me. I don't have a mannequin, so I can't really hang it and, you know, hem it, and I don't have anybody here to kind of help me hem it, so it was just a DIY job of me just putting it on the floor and kind of pinning it up. The inside is not the best construction, and I hope it doesn't like pop out of me, but I don't have a serger. Obviously, I have my sewing machine. So what I think I might do in the future is just kind of go down the edges and do a zigzag stitch, because I hear that that's what people are doing. It's the same as using a serger. In some of the places, like the shoulder seams and some of the seams, they are a bit bulky where I've kind of back stitched, or the sewing went a bit wrong and I've had to just kind of carry on. So it's got a little bit more thread piled up than I would like to have, but it's still done. I don't claim to be a perfectionist. I just like things done to a standard that I am happy with. And for me, I am happy with this. I just kept telling myself, progress over perfection. The first thing of anything is never going to be perfect, but as long as you're happy with it, that's the main thing. I don't think anyone would look at it and be like, whoa, that's like really terrible. Obviously, from the inside construction, yeah, but looking on the outside, just looking at a dress, I don't think they would be like, what the heck is that? Really hope it gives you the confidence to just start creating, I know it seems daunting at first, because it definitely was for me. You would not know how long I had a sewing machine and I was so scared to use it. And now that I've like mustered up the courage and I've started creating things, honestly, the absolute joy I get from creating something, putting it on and being like, I made this, it's just the ultimate satisfaction. And I'm just so happy that I actually managed to do it. So yeah, guys, I'm wearing my first ever made garment by me. It's one thing to kind of start a project, but to actually finish your first me made garment is just something. And I just want to throw it out there, I am so proud of it. I'm so proud of myself. I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful, and I know it's really simple, but sometimes like the simplest things, they really do be being the hardest things. So do not forget to live life's beauty, because life is beautiful and it's out there waiting to be lived by you. And hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye.